They say kindness never goes unnoticed. But for one poor waitress, a single act of compassion would come back to her in the most unexpected way. 20 years later, a Rolls Royce would stop at her door. Meet Amelia, a young waitress working long shifts at a small diner. She barely earned enough to pay rent, often skipping meals so her little brother wouldn't go hungry. One cold evening as she cleaned tables, she noticed a frail old man sitting by the window. His clothes were torn, his hands trembling. He had ordered nothing, just stared at the food he couldn't afford. Amelia walked over. Instead of chasing him away like others might have, she smiled warmly. "Sir, are you hungry?" she whispered. The man hesitated, ashamed, but Amelia didn't wait for an answer. From her own tips, the little she had saved for dinner, she paid for a hot meal. A plate of soup, bread, and coffee. The man's eyes filled with tears as he ate. He tried to thank her, but she simply said, "Just promise me one day when you can pass it on." Life went on. Amelia never saw the man again. She grew older, faced struggles, and eventually retired from waitressing. Still, she lived a quiet, humble life in a small home. She never thought about that night at the diner. Until one morning, everything changed. Amelia heard the sound of a powerful engine outside her house. When she looked out the window, she froze. A sleek black Rolls Royce parked right in front of her door. Out stepped a man in a fine tailored suit, gray hair, but eyes full of gratitude. He walked up, holding a bouquet of flowers. "Amelia, do you remember me?" She searched his face and then gasped. It was the same frail old man from the diner, but now he was a wealthy businessman. Years ago, Amelia's kindness had saved him. He was sick, homeless, and ready to give up. But that warm meal gave him the strength to keep going. That night, he promised himself, if he ever succeeded, he would find her. And today, he had come to fulfill that promise. He handed her keys to a brand new house, a check for her retirement, and said, "You gave me food when I had nothing. Now let me give back to you, so you'll never know hunger again." Amelia stood in tears, realizing her kindness had returned, multiplied beyond measure. It's true what they say. A single act of compassion can echo for a lifetime. So remember, kindness always finds its way back. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Heartstring Stories for more powerful tales of kindness, hope, and second chances. Because you never know, your story might be next.